What's going on, everybody? Well, I want to share some things about what made me want to get into the whole health and wellness and courier business. What made me want to start it instead of being on a 9 to 5. And to answer that, I spent 15 years on a 9 to 5. And it was a good job. I really enjoyed it. I enjoy some of my co-workers. Well, basically all of my co-workers, We all had our ups and downs, but overall, they were still good people to work with. And I learned a lot from each and every one of them, especially how to deal with people. Yeah, because you will get tested. You will get tested. And overall, the company was great to me. It was great. I have no complaints about working for the company. I was on the production line. Might well say I was a machine technician or production technician, however you want to put it. But I spent 15 years there. And I built a skill there. I learned and built a skill. I was building transformers for utilities. And it's decent money in it. It's decent money. Over time, over the years, it got even better for us with the money, with the income. But the work was good, man. It was great. I didn't mind doing the work there. I enjoyed building transformers and being on the assembly line, assembling units that becomes transformers. But the thing about that, like I said, the company was great. And some of management was all right. But that was one of the main issues, basically dealing with management a lot of times. I felt that, well, within me, I felt that I wasn't getting the recognition that I felt I should have got. Like I felt like I should have got a promotion. And I never really got a promotion there. I enjoyed training people. I was training folks on the job as well. That was a great experience, learning how to train people and deal with, personalities of people. And man, a lot of times it got hectic because you got to deal with folks don't really want to listen to you. They want to try to tell you how to do your job when they don't even know the job. You know what I'm saying? So that was hilarious. But that's things that you had to deal with and have to tolerate. And I felt I should have been getting paid training people, especially when I started getting good at it. Not in the beginning, but after a while, I was like, hold on now, they making me train folks a little too much now, and I ain't getting paid to do it, And to be honest, I always wanted to be my own boss. I always wanted to have my freedom. You know, sometimes we got to start somewhere. You got to crawl before you can walk. And what inspired me was my aunt to want to become an entrepreneur, to really want to become, you know, a business owner. My aunt Deborah McNeil, may her rest in peace. She passed away 2015. I love her dearly and miss her dearly. That's my heart. She was my second mother. She was my aunt, but she was also my second mother. And matter of fact, she was the first person that had me working in her business. You know, when I was in school working for my aunt. I was cleaning her office. I was the you could say like a janitor, cleaning her office and everything. And I was learning about being independent. You know, what it was like to get your own check, to make your own money. She was teaching me that. And I'm very thankful of the knowledge and tools that she gave me. About being a hard worker and being independent. But, you know, that was one of the things that inspired me to be like, I want to be like my aunt. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like my aunt. She make her own schedule, you know. She running the show, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be that. That's what inspired me. The only thing is, I didn't know what I really wanted to do at that time. I was in my teenage years, 17, 18. But when I first started working for my aunt, I was every bit of between 14, 15 years old. I think I was 14 when I first started working for my aunt. And not knowing like I know now. And she tried to coach me on certain things, but you know how we is when we young. We hear it, but we're not hearing it. You know, we listening, but we're not really listening. You get what I'm saying? Because the things that I know now, the opportunity was right there in my hand. I could have took me being a janitor and flipped that into a cleaning business. And my aunt definitely would have helped me to start my own cleaning business at an early age like that. It wasn't too much that I couldn't get, you know. All I had to do was just show her that I was serious about it and apply it myself. And she would have helped me. But I wasn't responsible yet far as to be on that type of time. But me knowing what I know now, I could have became my own boss a long time ago if I would have really took it serious and really thought about it. You know, it was me knowing what I know now. It was right in front of me the whole time of learning how to run a business. But ain't no telling how that could have went. I could have started it, me being young. Everything worked out like it's supposed to, you know. So it was evidently wasn't meant for me to step into that lane at that particular time. Because if it was, I would have did it, you know. So everything happens for reasons, right? So that's what really started me on wanting to be on my own. Like I said, I always wanted to be my own. I always wanted to be a business owner. I always wanted to be my own boss, call the shots, and, you know, make my own schedule. You know, have my freedom. I just didn't know what I actually wanted to do. And it took me years to really know. And one of my passions was always helping people. I was always helping folks do certain things. Not only working for my aunt as a janitor, you know, cleaning her office and everything, but when she first started she was a tax accountant. But when she first was starting her tax account business, she taught me how to run a paper route business. So we was on her car delivering newspapers. And she taught me how to run routes. And we used to have a recorder. The recorder was our map. It was a lady telling us the route we had to take. Turn this way, turn that way. A cul-de-sac coming up. You know, watch out for the cul-de-sac to find our destination of delivering to this particular resident, you know. And I liked that. That was, I think back on it now, that was cool how they set that up. You know, had that lady on the tape giving us directions. But that's when I first learned about the courier business of delivering newspapers. Then I was introduced to delivering phone books, the Sprint telephone books by Mr. Stanley Robinson. Rest in peace to Mr. Stanley Robinson. He was the husband of my Aunt Deborah, church member, Miss Shirley. I think Miss Shirley or Miss Sharon Robinson. And she's no longer here with us too. Rest in peace to her as well. And he showed me how to deliver phone books, and he was teaching me routes. So that's what started me into the whole courier thing. I had got some experience from delivering newspapers and delivering telephone books, and I enjoyed it. And matter of fact, I enjoyed riding, you know, driving too. So when I got of age and got my own, you know, got my license, I enjoyed driving. I never had thought all that time when I got my license. I got my license like at 19 or 20. And I had never thought about using my vehicle as a business, as an asset. So me in my 40s, right now I'm 45, and the opportunity came to me about starting my own courier business with my car. And a lady named Miss Ocelia. Shout out to Miss Ocelia. That's my pastor cousin. That's my pastor Cedric Murphy cousin. And she's a doctor in, I want to say Maryland. She's in Maryland, but she's from Wilson, North Carolina. But she lives in Maryland. But she the one that put it in my mind, put it in my spirit of starting my own courier business. And that's how that came about. And when I thought about it, it took me back as I started learning about the courier business, and as I started taking steps at a time of starting the business, I looked back on everything and I said, you know what? I believe this is what I'm supposed to be doing all this time. But it just wasn't my time yet. But me looking back on it, I got experience already in delivering things as being a delivery driver. So I already knew how to run routes. I already knew how to deliver stuff. I just never had my own business in it. You get what I'm saying? So that's how that came about. And thanks to Miss Ocelia for bringing that opportunity to me. I really thank her. And the health and wellness, I went through some things far as being on the borderline of being a diabetic, a pre-diabetic, on the borderline of being a pre-diabetic. So when I was introduced to the CBD line through Miss Yvonne, shout out to Miss Yvonne. She was also my real estate agent and helped me to find this great home that we live in now, for me being a first-time home buyer. And Miss Yvonne Langston, shout out to her. But she introduced me to the CBD line with it was with the company, the Oxygen company. It was called Oxygen, which now they changed it from Oxygen to Epic. And the CBD line with the Captivita, that's when I learned about Captivita. I was introduced to Captivita with the whole diabetes and weight management supplement. So I started using it and taking it and changing the way I ate, changing my eating habits, you know, the food I was eating and everything. And before you know it, I had got off the borderline of being a pre-diabetic. So that's how that came about. And so I wanted to focus more on the Captivita supplement and to share my story with others that's dealing with being on the borderline or already a diabetic. And I'm trying to help them to stop taking the insulin and get to the natural supplement of Captivita. I wanted to get them off of shooting them needles into the insulin and stuff and taking the other stuff that these, you know, the doctors is prescribing, which got other, you know, I just feel to share the natural, the more natural supplement of Captivita. Because it's about, I want to help people to really beat what they supposed to be diagnosed with, really beat it and no longer diagnosed. I want to take them from being diagnosed to they not diagnosed no more. They beat it. It's no longer, they no longer dealing with that situation. I want to help people to really clear, you know, really get rid of their situation. And so that's what really made me to want to go into the health and wellness and courier business. And I hope that somebody out there like the content that I'm putting out, that will find this video right here helpful and subscribe to my channel. I'm showing y'all my journey. I'm taking y'all through my journey. I want y'all to see how I build my business. Like, subscribe, share this video. Let's get this content out to the algorithm. All right? So on that note, I'm going to end it right there. I love each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay blessed. Let's take 2026 to a whole other level. Let's do great things. Let's do even more greater things this year. All right.